Hello and a warm welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On the program today, Nigerian army defeats a large number of Boko Haram terrorists, recovers more weapons. The Executive Secretary of the Victim Support Fund says more money is needed for the reconstruction of the Northeast. And the federal government begins work on the Lafia-Makurdi highway. We begin with security matters. The Nigerian army authorities say troops on Operation Lafia Dole have successfully disarmed a large number of Boko Haram terrorists following an ambush along Bama Road, which is in Borno State. In a statement, the Director, Army Public Relations Office, Brigadier General Sani Usman, explained that soldiers from 151 Battalion, 21 Brigade of the Nigerian Army intercepted the terrorists in the early hours of yesterday. According to the Army spokesman, several of the insurgents were killed while others sustained gunshot wounds. The troops also recovered an AK-47 rifle and magazine, 60 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, 3 bicycles, a machete, and some cash, amongst other items. Following a spate of renewed Boko Haram attacks in the northeast, the army has received marching orders to step up operations against the insurgents with a mandate to capture their leader, Abubakar Shekau. And still on security matters, but this time in Abia State, where the defense headquarters has been reacting to yesterday's clash between the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the army in the state capital. The Director of Defense Information, Major General John Eninche, who was on our breakfast show, Sunrise Daily, dismissed the claim that the army was test driving their armored personnel carrier and has asked online platforms to stop feeding the public with false information.
The troops were just on their normal operation, patrolling. And some chaps, if I will use that, who were later identified to be IPOB members, came to, block the road and said they shouldn't pass. How? And they denied them access. And it was peaceful, and they started throwing stones at them. Missiles. When I mean missiles, stones and things that are hard objects, to the extent of, injuring a soldier on his head, and then they passed out by one lady. And that was what happened. And of course, it did not even escalate to what they pasted on the internet. When they positioned, they went and photoshopped a picture of people that were in a range-like position, and then firing against IPOB flags. It is rather unfortunate. I was contacted directly, and I was in touch with them, and that is what is the situation. When things like this happen, people can come out with various things. I'm not saying that the police did not give you, a version of what they understood or what they were giving, but I'm now telling that what happened is that it is a normal, like you referred me to Operation Python Dance, exercise, Python Dance, is a normal routine exercise. And of course, nobody will just sit down and then, look at, carry out your normal exercise, which was the normal exercise of Python Dance. And that was what happened. So it was not like specifically we are testing armor personnel carrier or whatever. We didn't just acquire armor personnel carriers. We have it and we have been using them. So it was not, if it was something expected and, looked at from that angle, they would have gone out to their combat camera and captured it.
Joining us from Abia State to discuss more on this issue is the State Commissioner of Police, Olaleye Oyebode. Thank you so much for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us what happened between the Army and IPOB in your state?
Now, let me say that we have gone far from that. For now, we've been able to restore peace. And I think that is what is really important. The incident, we have put it behind us. The activities of the IPOB members, we have been monitoring them, and with what we are doing now is only to sustain and maintain the peace that we've been able to enjoy so far. So it's a matter of ensuring that no organization comes to take the law into his hands, and that is what we are doing. Taking the environment as serious for everybody to be able to go about their lawful business. Even when they did the sit-at-home incident, the matured way the police were able to look into the matter really went to ensure that there was no breach of the peace. And that was what happened yesterday. We've been able to calm down frayed nerves. The people injured, they were brought into our police clinic, they were treated and discharged. One civilian woman with minor injury, one other corporal from the police, and one corporal from the military. And all is over. The important thing is I want to assure all Abians and all those that are resident in Umuahia to go about their lawful businesses. And I think that is the most important thing. We are here to protect life and property. That is the instruction from the Inspector General of Police. Thank you.
Well, could this invasion be related to the Army's announcement of the deployment of troops to the region for a special operation it called Operation Python Dance 2?
There is no time police and the military will not always have such a program. We work together. Mind you, especially in Abia State here, we are always in synergy with other sister agencies. And this is not the first time we are collaborating and working together. The main thing is we always go on patrol. And when they were going on patrol, that incident happened. And I've told you that I've been able to curtail the excesses of those that want to hijack it and make it another thing. We've been able to sustain the tempo of peace, and I want to say that that much we'll be able to do. All officers and men of the command are on their toes, and we are ready to sustain the tempo to ensure that peace that we've been able to put in place is not troubled. Thank you.
But we're getting reports that there may be more clashes if the soldiers involved in yesterday's violence are not punished.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. That is for the military to look into. The police, we have dominated the area. We have been able to show that the environment is very peaceful. Whoever wants to talk about punishing, I think that is done within my purview. My own take is that the area that we are talking about has been well curtailed. The incident has been put behind us. And we are moving on to ensure that even from now to December and beyond that, the peace that we have been enjoying is not truncated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Abia State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olayeye Oyebade. And still on security matters, but this time in a River State where the man suspected to have raped and killed an 8-year-old girl in Port Harcourt, Ifeanyi Dike, has been brought back to the River State capital where he allegedly committed the crime. The University of Port Harcourt student had escaped from custody of the River State Police Command and fled to Jos, the Plateau State capital, where he was rearrested last week. He was sighted sitting in a white bus surrounded by security officials and a crowd of interested persons trying to catch a glimpse of him. He's perhaps the most wanted suspected criminal in the state, with the police apparently not taking any chances this time around and vowing to ensure the suspect is kept under lock and key before he faces the law. A total of 1,100 pump-action rifles loaded in a 20-foot container have been recovered by the men of the Customs Service in Lagos State. The operatives of the Tinkan Island Command of the service said they caught a syndicate that specialized in smuggling weapons into the country. They add that the rifles were concealed in a container labeled as wash-hand basins. A similar seizure was made by the Customs in January this year. And when we return on the program, we look at efforts at rebuilding the Northeast. I'll give you more details in a moment. Join us again.